Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Obligatory Games Podcast, Episode 2. I'm Michael, and I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Jordan. How's it going, Jordan?
Going pretty good. Glad to be back again.
We allowed him back only this once.
Only this once. I won't be back for Episode 3.
Today is, we're going to be talking about the Pikmin 4 demo. That's going to be like the main meat of it, but this podcast is also an opportunity for us to just talk about some games we've been playing and our thoughts about those games. And Jordan, I mentioned this to you earlier, but I've been playing an inordinate amount of games. It's actually a little bit frightening.
Yeah, it's very, very scary for him because he doesn't really play very many games. Let's be honest here.
You'd think I would, you know. It's in the channel name, but
but he doesn't. It's all a facade.
But yeah, I've been playing a ton. It's kind of crazy, so I'll just want to go through a few of those. I think the big one that I want to start with is one that you've played as well, is Super Mario Galaxy 2. You know, often regarded as the pinnacle of the 3D Mario games. But
he mentioned he's got some spicy hot takes, so I'm excited to hear them.
I think this is the weakest 3D Mario. I was pretty disappointed. I ended up liking Mario Galaxy 1. I first played that when 3D All-Stars released. I kind of missed the Wii generation for a large part.
He's got a bit of a Wii bias, Wii bias basically, which is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I've mentioned before, like, the Wii makes me sleepy.
Yeah, he's mentioned that multiple times.
So I kind of avoided it, but I figured Mario Wonder is coming out. I should go and finish off the mainline Mario titles I missed. And here are my thoughts. And it's some of it is issues with Mario Galaxy as well, but it just bothered me more this time, I guess, for whatever reason. A big thing for me is long jumping in this game.
Okay.
It feels completely wrong to me because you have almost zero horizontal movement, which is a really big part of 64, which is going to be kind of my base of reference here. Is like Mario 64. That's like my favorite one. No horizontal movement, and it cancels your momentum. This is the thing that kills me, because in a lot of other 3D Marios, like Odyssey as well, when you long jump, you get that boost of speed as well that it carries you from.
Right, kind of like, I mean, I kind of can see that. It's also been a hot minute since I last played through Galaxy 2 especially. So.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like in Odyssey, right, you long jump, and that's one of the ways to get like to top speed really quickly is by long jumping. In Galaxy 2, you just completely stop, and it never ceased to throw me off. So when it comes to 3D Mario games, I really care about how expressive you can be with the movement. And Galaxy 2 is not about that. It's about the gravity mechanics and all these different things it's doing. Another issue with the movement, the other main one really, is your air control when you're just doing a basic jump is really limited. So if you jump like right up in the air, you have almost zero forward movement that you can use to adjust yourself. But if you hold back, Mario goes really far backwards. So he's got more backwards aerial movement than forward, which feels awkward and like it should be the other way around. It's one of those things that I don't think most people would notice, but I was getting just so irritated by it.
Probably because you would have so much time, especially in 64.
Oh, yeah.
And Odyssey, especially.
The level design, I mean, like, level design-wise, it's hard to complain about it too much. These games have a ton of ideas packed into their stages. Right. I think the famous one where you eat the turbo... Do you remember what these are called? Dash peppers, maybe, or something like that?
So. I don't remember the names of them, but I know what you're talking about, where it's like the waterfall one we kind of have to...
Yeah. Like, that stuff's fun. I like that, but it never felt like it was... expanded to a satisfactory degree for me.
That's fair.
It's different than like an Odyssey or a 64 or a Sunshine, where these are basically like levels in a game rather than courses or worlds to explore. You know? Like, I mean, you go from this level, you beat that level, and you go to the next one.
Right.
Where Odyssey is more about exploring an environment and all that stuff, which is what connects with me. What else? Oh, here's something kind of weird that happened. So these games, you have the Starbit mechanic, right?
Right.
You feed
the Lumas.
The Lumas, yeah. And then they can transform, and that's how you unlock other areas.
Right.
And I was always nervous that I was going to get to the final world, and I wasn't going to have enough. So I never spent any the entire game. I got to the end, and I realized that I was saving that up for no reason.
Yeah, it's like you can get them like everywhere. You can like you can literally farm for them. Like you can go back through the same level and like go to the same areas and they'll like the starbits will still be there. My guy.
So really that's my fault.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Fred. When I saw them on the world map, I'm like, okay, there's probably going to be like a gate at the last one where I'm going to need like a ton. So I just put them all in the bank. Mm-hmm. Which, fuck the bank, by the way. He's like, I'll find some starbits for you. It's like 3 starbits at a time.
He barely finds anything.
That guy's a bastard.
Yeah.
But I just ended up never spending my starbits. And then I guess the last thing I want to comment on is the final boss. Like, for the most part, my issues with this game come down to movement expressiveness. Mm-hmm. Like, the levels, they're Nintendo levels, they're well designed. But the final boss, though, I do think is kind of a missed opportunity because it's basically a retread of another boss that you fought 2 times previous. Mm-hmm. And it iterates on the concepts of that very mildly. And I don't know, I've not played any post-game stuff. I assume there's a little bit. I think you've mentioned that there's like an incredibly difficult final level.
It's the Grandmaster Galaxy, specifically the Perfect Run, which I think I mentioned before, where it's essentially like the hardest level in the game, and the Perfect Run makes it where you have to go through the entire level, 1 HP, no checkpoints, no nothing. You got to do it all in one shot. Hence the Perfect Run.
Right.
Which took me a while to beat personally, like way back in the day after the game came out.
I have not touched that, and I will not be touching it.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean, that's really only if you're going for like 100%, which I didn't think you would go for anyways, to be honest.
No, I'm very close to 100%ing all the other 3D Marios. Yeah, but I think I'll pass on this one. And overall, it's still a 3D Mario game. Mm-hmm. Like being the worst one is still like a good game.
Yeah, like it's not saying like it's a bad game. It's just like comparatively at least, and they're all still stellar games in their own ways.
So that's my experience with Mario Galaxy. That's my little review. F tier game, absolute dog shit. that was the point.
In the trash.
You want to talk about a game now? Or I got more. I got so many games.
I know. I haven't really been playing a whole lot. I can just kind of go through mine real quick, and we can go back to yours. So I've been playing a decent amount of the Great Ace Attorney series.
That's the one that's like takes place in
1800s,
like Japan.
Well, it's in mainly in Great Britain actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you start off in Japan, and then you're on a ship, like a ship I think captained by I think it's Russians, I think. And then you end up going into to Great Britain, meet up with legally distinct Sherlock Holmes.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Well, because it actually is Sherlock Holmes in the original, in the original Japanese, but they couldn't get permission outside of Japan to utilize it because the whole Sherlock Holmes or the Arthur Conan Doyle estate and everything they wouldn't allow it, so they just flipped the names, which has happened before actually. This isn't the first time. It's a bit of a side tangent. It's with the the original Arsène Lupin stories, the original novels. They introduced a character called Sherlock Holmes for them to face up against each other. And I think he even sued the author. I think whoever was the original author of Lupin. And he's like no. This is a very legally distinct. This isn't Sherlock. This is Sherlock Holmes. They're 2 different characters.
Huh. So there's a history to it then.
Yeah. So they kind of utilize that. It's a lot of fun. If you've played Ace Attorney, it's pretty much more of the same. But there's a couple really interesting new mechanics with it. One of which is the jury system, where you have 6 jury members, and during certain points of the game, or the court case, they'll slam their fist down and throw. I have a thing of fire go into the scales of justice, either leaning towards guilty or not guilty.
Oh, okay.
And then if it goes all the way guilty, you have to be hey we have to then convince them, with their own logic, why they shouldn't be voting for guilty.
That's interesting.
And they'll have flip back on them.
I really got to give these games a try sometime. I've missed out on the entire Ace Attorney series.
Yeah, I see. I have 6 of the games technically physically now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I have the trilogy on Switch, the Japanese version, and then, which is in English as well. Right. Then I've got the Chronicles Duology, and then I have the 4th one. On the DS, the Apollo Justice.
Oh, sure. I'll probably give I mean to give the Switch one a try eventually.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing? Is that it?
I mentioned to you before, I've been playing a little bit of the Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, yeah.
Because you basically convinced me to get the Switch Online N64 controller because they had some in stock. It's a late rare stuffed platformer that I mentioned to you before.
A lot of too much stuff. To
collect. I haven't played a whole lot. Like I think I have like 2 of the blueprints as well, and like 10 of the golden bananas.
Blueprints. I forgot about those too. There's so many things.
Yeah.
It's definitely got its charms.
Yeah.
And it originates a lot of like iconic Donkey Kong things. I mean, like the DK rap,
of course,
obviously.
Like you can't go wrong with that.
But I've never met a real living person who's ever beat it.
No, I think I've tried once before. Like I didn't get very far then either. So.
It's a lot to deal with.
And then the only other like main one I've been playing is playing a lot of Groove Coaster, the Switch port of it. The reason being is because I convinced myself to order a technically third party almost arcade accurate controller for it.
He showed me this thing.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably accurate. Like we had just gone to the Round 1 arcade like a couple weeks back, and so I got to see a real Groove Coaster machine, and I'm pretty shocked at how well reproduced this thing is.
Right, and then after we record, I'm gonna have him like try it out and see how well he can utilize this versus the actual arcade game.
Just speaking on that for a second, like Groove Coaster is a really cool game. I mean, Jordan could definitely talk about it more, but I did get to play that, like I said, at Round 1, and I'm becoming a bit of a rhythm game fan from that one at least.
He's been rhythm game pills. Let's go, boys. Yeah, see, I've only put about 40 hours in the game so far, and I haven't even
only.
Hey, in my defense, I have like over 100 in Miku. Like, probably closer to 200 or 300 across both the Switch and PS4 versions.
Damn.
So, and I haven't even bought any of the DLC yet either for Groove Coaster. I'm gonna finish all like there's a whole like skill tree thing. I'm gonna finish that first before I even think about getting the DLCs. So I've got nothing else after that.
All right, okay. Well, I got more games to talk about. So
see if he has any more spicy hot takes.
I got one. I guess so we'll move into that next. New Super Mario Brothers 2. So I beat Mario Galaxy 2. One of the most famous and popular Mario games. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing New Super Mario Bros. 2, one of the most maligned games in the entire Mario franchise, and
he likes it.
I like it. I like it a little bit.
He told me about it. I'm like, man, like he's on the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't know if he's just being a contrarian at this point.
I'm not. I swear these are my honest opinions. It doesn't seem like it, but I think part of it, honestly, is just that I thought that it was going to be a lot worse than it ended up being. Like, I expected it actually to be like a drag to play.
Right.
And it's not. It is more New Super Mario Brothers. I guess I just find the coin stuff to be kind of more fun than I was really expecting.
Yeah, it's kind of just superfluous, really.
Yeah. You'll get like the gold flower. I don't know what the technical name for it is.
I think it's like golden flower, something like that.
Okay, a golden flower.
Or coin flower, something like that.
And you just start turning blocks into coins. And it's not meaningful gameplay wise, really, but it is satisfying.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that.
I do like the coin block head like they get sometimes. That's a lot of fun. Like just running around like coins like coming out of you basically.
And you can look for like the most optimal way to use it. So you're like going the fastest and getting the most coins.
Yeah.
Again, like what does that mean in terms of like the game itself? Nothing really, but it is fun.
I mean, you get like a different like screen, like start screen if you get like so many coins, but that's really about it.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah,
I've been wondering if there's gonna be any.
I think
anything.
I think it's at 1 million. I think it's at like the 9,909,000, like the max amount of coins you can get.
I don't think I'm gonna be playing that long.
Don't do it. Don't do that for yourself.
Oh, one other thing I liked about it before I get into like the complaints is that Resnor's back. I've always been a big fan of Resnor from Mario World.
We stay in Resnor in this household.
We do. They brought that enemy back. I thought that was kind of fun. But as for complaints, it is just more New Super Mario Brothers. Mm-hmm. These games have a very similar visual design, and especially like the world maps between the original game, Wii, and this, they all look like identical. It is like disturbingly similar.
You could easily like mistake one for the other. Honestly.
Oh, you honestly could. Yeah. It is shocking how little they iterated on that. Wii U changed things up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't realize how different it was until going back to these. I'm like, wow.
You're like, wow, like I almost forgot about it.
I don't know. That's where I kind of stand with it right now. I'm having a lot. I haven't beaten it yet.
Yeah.
I'm deep into, I think, World 3 at this point. Mm-hmm. But I'm still having a good time, and I think it's going to be pretty breezy. It looks like there's only 6 worlds.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, it's not too long of a game, really.
So I'll be done soon, and I can appreciate a game that doesn't overstay its welcome as well. So moving on, I got around to finally giving Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe a try.
Oh, nice.
We're doing 2-player with Bailey. I get it now.
Yeah.
This is one, again, I avoided the Wii generation, so I missed it the first time around. The last 2D Kirby I played was Star Allies, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
This is...
I know Star Allies was not very well received.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of just like I've heard people complain about like Crystal Shards for being like a 2D Kirby game that's like boring. Like to me that's like the pinnacle of the series.
Right. I've only played a lot. I think I've only played like a little bit of Crystal Shards. I should play more of it though.
You definitely should. It was a great game. But I thought that that's maybe where people were coming from. When I played Star Allies, I'm like, oh, this is not... I guess Kirby in 2D is just not something I enjoy anymore. Yeah. But then Return to Dreamland Deluxe, really fun. And I don't know what it is about it because the games visually are kind of similar. Mechanically are pretty similar as well. Right. I think the level design in Return to Dreamland is just better.
So yeah, I don't have the Switch version, but I do have. I have like played through it. I don't think 100% of it. I did play like the majority of the original Wii version, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really good game.
It's really good. It's right now like 3rd, 4th place Kirby game for me. I think we haven't really talked about this, and I won't spend too much time on it. But Crystal Shards is probably my first one. I loved Forgotten Land.
I've only played the demo. I do need to give Forgotten Land a shot.
Pick up the retail version. I actually did not like the demo for that game. I thought I'm like, this game's gonna suck.
Fair.
I got the retail version, and I'm like, this is one of the best Switch games. Yeah. So
I mean, like, I enjoy the demo for what it is. I just get it. I always tell you I have so many games in my backlog. Like, I gotta keep adding to it. So
play that one because I'd love to talk about it on a future episode.
We could do that. Yeah.
More Wii. Punch Out Wii. That's probably the only Wii game that I really actively played and loved. I follow this Twitch streamer, Barbarous King, and I was watching him play Punch Out and flounder at it and be terrible. So I said, I can do better than you. And I broke out my copy, which apparently the game's kind of expensive nowadays.
Yeah, it's getting kind of pricey from what I last
seen. $70.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And here's the thing, like, the game is hard.
Yeah.
The game is actually very hard. I got pretty far just on like punch out instincts coming back to me, but towards the end of the game it does get pretty frustrating, and I think that there's some balancing issues, or maybe it didn't complement the hardware quite right. Like the original Punch Out for NES, like that game is so responsive, and it has to be because it's very like Twitch reflexy. This one I always felt like maybe it was the wireless connection to the Wiimote or something, but like I just could never be as fast as I felt that I was. Yeah,
that makes sense. Like there's like some sort of like lag in there that like wasn't really accounted for.
Yeah. And it just doesn't work for a game that is all about, like we were saying, those Twitch reflexes.
I think like a phrase that I've heard recently is like no blink gameplay.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Like as soon as you hit like that final circuit of title defense, it's like you've...
Yeah, I think I started on title defense. I'm like, I give up. I'm like, I beat the main stuff. This is basically the new game plus, and I'm not dealing with that.
I did get through it though, eventually.
Attaboy.
After like resetting like 50 times, probably on the last guy.
It's like don't even want to think about how many times you reset.
It was fun though. I'm probably gonna go back now and do the NES version again, which is my favorite of the series by far.
I think I only got up to like Sandman in the original NES version.
It's tough. Yeah. Especially that game, like the Mike Tyson fight. Yeah. Is I've beaten it many times. I still think it's totally unfair. I can't believe they put that in a video game. Just have a guy who one-shots you with like a almost instantaneous move.
Right. It's like nope.
Wild. Okay, and then the final game I've been playing is We Love Katamari. And now I'm looking at this list, I'm like, none of these are really recent games when you think about it. This is another remake of a PS2 game this time, but I'm loving this. I waited forever for our copy to show up. I pre-ordered it, and it just showed up a couple days ago. Wonderful game. I love the first one. It's one of my favorite. It probably is my favorite PS2 game.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then this is just more of it. More unique challenges, more stuff to do. It's just more.
Just more.
I like more.
You think that they're going to remake any of the other ones after this one?
You know, I don't know. I've played the Xbox 360 game, which I think was Beautiful Katamari.
Okay.
And then I played the PS3 version a little bit. I can't remember. Katamari Forever, I think is what that one's called. And I think that there's a pretty sharp decline after We Love Katamari.
That's fair.
The Xbox One was still fun, but it's a little too derivative of the first game.
Mm-hmm, that makes sense.
And then I remember the PS3 game, for whatever reason, being like really mean-spirited.
Oh, okay.
I'm like the Kid of the Cosmos was just like a dickhead in that. Like,
for no reason.
I didn't like it. So, I don't know. I wouldn't mind them remaking them because the core gameplay concept is so fun.
Maybe do like a 2-pack for those two together.
That would be ideal. I don't. They would
probably
never,
not, no.
But that would be great.
Well, maybe because it's Bandai Namco. They did that for the Klonoa.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's possible.
It'd be cool. But what We Love Katamari does so well compared to those other games is just how many different kinds of challenges can we do with this concept of rolling things around rather than just make the biggest thing or whatever. So,
but making the biggest thing is cool though.
And it has that as well.
Okay, good.
It does it all.
Okay, good.
So
I was a little worried there for a second.
No, like I think the end of this game, I'm not there yet. But if I remember correctly, you're just rolling up the entire Earth. It's like whole continents.
I believe it.
It's pretty fun. But that wraps up my what I've played, all my reviews of these games from at least like a decade ago. I think every single game on here. So if you haven't gotten around to these yet.
And just my brief, rhythm game visual novel. It's really a little bit of platforming.
Hell yeah.
Not really reviews, but just like if those interest you, just give those a shot. I don't know if there's any demos out for the for Ace Attorney at all.
I'd say if there's one for Groove Coaster,
there definitely is one for Groove Coaster.
Check that game out because I think that's a lot of fun.
It's like a rhythm roller coaster in a way. Yeah, I haven't got any of the DLC yet, which I'm gonna need to do for the Undertale stuff because that's only DLC.
Right, I did play one of those on the arcade machine.
Yeah.
It's so the visual design on that is like incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Like it takes like elements like from like their respective series usually. Like it has the opening for Gurren Lagann in there, which is one of my all-time favorites, and like especially towards the end, like basically the last part of the song is like a big spiral upwards, which is because the whole series is about like drills and spirals, which is I just love seeing that.
Yeah.
And I think it even has like one of the character Kamina has like his shades for like a split second, like his like sunglasses.
Oh, cool.
You can see it in the background.
All right, well I think that wraps up this segment of the show. So we're moving on to the main meat.
The main course.
The main course, yeah. The main meat. What is that? These were many meats, and now we're to the main one.
It's the prime rib of the charcuterie.
There, yeah, exactly. Which is actually just more game we played.
Yes,
I guess.
In a way, but I don't know how much I'll have to talk about it. But I know you'll probably have a lot to talk about it.
Pikmin 4 demo. So I like Pikmin.
Pikmin's pretty good.
You've played a little bit, but you've never beaten any of them, right?
I've beaten the first game.
Oh, the first game. Okay.
Yes, I think I ended up using a guide for it, but I did do 100% the first game.
Okay, very cool. This one, compared to the first one, is a pretty huge evolution in almost every single way.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely more inspired by the second game, which maybe we'll get into in a bit here. But first, I just want to talk about the length of this demo.
It's a pretty good length for it.
I think it took me. And I actually went back and replayed parts of it to see more of the content, because this is something where you can actually miss parts of the game if you...
depending on how you do it, yeah.
Right, exactly. I think altogether probably 4 hours or something. You can really get a lot of gameplay time out of it.
That's about as long as me. I mean, I might have done a little bit longer if I kind of was delaying myself doing stuff, so...
Sure. I want to say I haven't seen a demo this meaty since maybe the... Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah,
that's like a whole ass RPG.
Yeah, I think that's like a 10-hour demo.
Yeah,
I think
it's
easily.
massive.
Yeah, but that's a whole that's like a prologue you can play for the game basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It does make me wonder just how long the actual game is going to be when it releases. I hope that this is setting us up for like a 20-30 hour
that'd be pretty good,
because it would be disappointing if we've almost seen a whole area of the game, and typically Pikmin has 5 main areas, and you can pretty much explore the entire first one in this demo. So I'm a little nervous, but I just hope that means that we're about to get the biggest Pikmin game ever by a huge margin.
Hopefully, at least.
Gameplay wise, wrote some stuff down here. So one of the like main changes I've noticed about like how the games control from like even Pikmin 3 Deluxe,
right,
is that you'll like go to throw Pikmin to pick up an object, right?
Yeah.
And once you throw the number you need, the game like pauses your throwing.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that.
And I don't know entirely how to feel about it. In a way, I don't like it so much because in the earlier games, the more Pikmin that are on the item that you're trying to pick up past the minimum number you need, they move it faster.
Oh, it still does this, actually.
It still does that, but it makes you pause before you can throw them all on, which is usually what I just like lay them on until they...
basically like mash the button until you have it, like, till they won't, like, till they just stand there, like, not doing anything.
Right, exactly.
It's always funny to see that.
It's like a super minor thing, because like you said, you can still put them on there. But it just kind of slows the gameplay down just ever so slightly.
Yeah, like there's just like it's like that brief like pause for that like shouldn't be there, but maybe they fixed that for like the retail version, but
maybe, but I can see it having its advantages too, because the other thing it does is let's say you're trying to break down an electric fence. If you can throw all your yellows at it, and when all your yellows are gone, it also pauses, so you don't accidentally throw.
Yeah, that's true.
Like reds or whatever. So I think it's a conscious decision. And I think it has its ups and downs. I still have to get used to it, but I thought it was an interesting change.
Yeah.
There's upgrade systems now. I was initially kind of disappointed because it seemed like they had removed features from Pikmin 3 that were just like...
there?
Quality features. Like, why would you get rid of this? For example, the charging ability is one where you can take all your Pikmin and send them at a wall to break down that wall.
Okay.
And it wasn't there. It's like, I just got to manually throw them all. That seems like way more tedious.
Right.
And then the first game had a feature like Charge called the Swarm, where you could push them all up against it, and it had the same effect essentially.
Right.
What I found out though is that the Charge is in the game. You just have to buy it from the item shop.
Oh.
So
okay.
They're now kind of like gating basic functionality behind these item shops, which is another. I can see the benefit, and I'm also not so sure about it, because it makes it so that when you get something that was just always there, now it feels exciting that it's there. But at the same time,
it's like it was always there before. Why isn't it back normally?
Yeah, it's unclear why it needed to
change,
especially because you get it so early.
Right.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting. In general, though, I think the upgrade idea is kind of cool. Did you? Which ones did you get? Because I think between gameplay footage I've seen online, it's randomized. Which items you get. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I haven't really done much with the items. I've only done the actual the upgrade for what's his name? The alien dog thing.
Oh, Ochi.
Ochi, yeah. I've really only done with that. I didn't really do much for the actual items, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah. Oh, I mean, we can talk about that too, though. Like the dog has a upgrade.
Yeah,
not tree, but
kind of tree.
What'd you call it? Yeah, what'd you call it? A tree? I don't know.
I guess upgrade bars.
Yeah.
You can kind of choose which one and kind of keep going back and forth between them.
It might be like a tree, but just displayed in such a way that it doesn't
overlap with other
appear like one.
Yeah.
Because I know that if you upgrade a certain thing to level 3, that unlocks a new skill.
Yeah, like a super version. of it.
Yeah. So there is kind of that upgrade tree element or whatever, skill tree element.
Skill tree, yeah.
But it just looks more like a normal menu. I think that's fun. I didn't realize that some of his functionality from the trailers
were an
upgrade version, so I'd send him right into a lake.
And he just dies.
Basically, yeah. It's just, the dog starts to drown, and then it says that he's scared of the water. It's kind of heartbreaking, actually. Yeah. The things that happened to this dog. I lit the dog on fire, too.
How could you?
Drowned the dog. The dog got eaten by a giant ladybug,
Did you electrocute him?
I don't think I
okay.
I don't think I've done that yet. In the final game, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I'm giving him ideas. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I actually like the dog a lot. We could talk about that a little bit. He's kind of something totally new to the franchise, where he's got sort of elements of your player character and also elements of a Pikmin, where he's got a health bar.
You can also upgrade how much he can carry as well.
Yeah, that too.
I think the max is 100 that I saw.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
I looked for I think it's 10, then 20, then 50, then 100. I think it is.
Oh, interesting.
Something like that. It's a lot of Pikmin he can take the place of.
I saw some people question what's the point of the Pikmin if the dog can do so much. I think they integrated them both together very smartly, and it feels like something that's like completely new to the series that fits in just perfectly, you know?
Like a natural evolution.
Yeah. And I don't think it takes away anything from the Pikmin, because a main concept of this game that I guess they brought it up in the very reveal trailer, like way back in the day when it was just like a screenshot.
Right.
Is this Dandori concept about efficiency, I guess. Yeah. Which ended up, I guess we can talk about that too. Look at these segues; they're amazing.
We love these beautiful segues.
How am I doing these segues so effortlessly? The Dandori battles. Did you find
one of them?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Was it the Alamar one? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler now. If you're listening to us talk about the demo, then this is something you could have found.
Right.
But Alamar's like dead.
Alamar's a Pikmin.
He's a Pikmin. Something happened to him. He doesn't like people who aren't Pikminized.
Yeah, and like he like Pikminizes like another another stranded like castaway or whatever.
Yeah. He says something like you with the skin.
Yeah.
Like
something like that. It's like what is he talking about? Like, that's terrifying.
It's bizarre. But he's the like catalyst for this Dandori battle thing to happen, where you are racing against the clock and this opponent to collect as many treasures as you can. It's very similar to a mode in Pikmin 3, which was like the multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
It was called Bingo Battle back then, and had more of like you want to find these specific items.
Right, where this is like a general, as many as you can in this amount of time.
Which is also a lot more fun.
Yeah.
The Bingo Battles were fun. I did that a fair amount, but this is way more satisfying and plays into like I think the core concepts of Pikmin a little bit.
Because you're not like scrounging for like a specific thing. It's more like okay, like we can split up all my Pikmin to get all these certain ones all together.
Exactly.
So.
I thought that was cool. I think it's cool that they're taking like these challenge mode and extra mode ideas and putting them into the main game, and like so that you actually engage with them. I don't know how many people played Bingo Battle or challenge mode in the old games. I don't think it was that many. So that's cool. I guess we can talk about the story too, since we brought up the Alamar thing. It's really interesting. I don't know where they're going. Like, he seems to like, it's like almost like a cult or something. Yeah. A cult of the Pikminizing people.
Yeah, and like the thing was, it's weird that like it's almost like you play like a prologue, like playing as Olimar at first.
Yes. Yeah.
And then like he like keeps. It seems like it takes place like after Pikmin 1, I think, or something. I don't know. It's weird.
It feels like it takes place in an alternate history of Pikmin 1.
That too. Where like he starts to leave and he ends up like going through like this house that like was never brought up ever before.
Right. And then you were too late, I guess. He sends a message for the rescue team, and they don't show up, and he dies. I guess
it's very hard to, or maybe like the Pikmin like take them, because like the idea is like the Pikmin like take them into like the onion and turns them into like Pikminized versions.
Which is so weird.
It's so weird. I have no idea what's going on. Or like maybe I don't know. Like maybe like he keeps going back to the planet for some reason.
It's hard to know. Like I would love to know. And his dog too.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Ochi.
Yeah.
But it's like, it has a Pikmin tail already.
Yeah.
Implying that maybe
did it in the prologue part?
It does.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Implying that maybe it was already Pikminized sometime previous. And I think maybe like once you get Pikminized, you have a compulsion to like Pikminize things, because there's actually another Dandori segment you can access in the demo.
Okay.
Where you meet like this already Pikminized character, and they're like, I just love to collect things and I want to do it all day. And it's
weird.
It's like they got Pikmin parasites in their brain or something. It's
maybe cool. It's like that's fascinating, honestly. Yeah. Maybe he's trying to like think of some sort of like ramifications of like using Pikmin to collect things.
Yeah, they're taking it in a weird way.
That like maybe it's like maybe it's not actually a good idea, or like maybe it's like just part of their like natural like physiology or like psychology or something.
Yeah, it would kind of go to explain why they're so proficient at just carrying things around from the start.
Because they were basically like born to do that.
Yeah, it's the most intriguing story we've ever had in a Pikmin game. Also sort of related to the story, to land another perfect segue.
Of course.
The dialogue, I thought, did get a little bit, like, tiresome.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it is, like, tutorial parts of the game, but, like, the tutorializing is pretty intense if you are someone who can kind of intuitively get the systems of the game.
Right, and I already can pick up like on what they're trying to get you to do.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a particularly complex series of controls or anything.
Not really.
But yeah, Nintendo seems to really want to make Pikmin a thing, and so maybe they're trying to make it like foolproof.
Yeah,
like,
like even an idiot can know can figure out how to play this game.
Exactly. But they did allow you to skip every single part of dialogue.
Yeah, which is very nice.
So there you go. When
I kind of went through all of them anyways, just to read what they said. Yeah. So
I thought the writing was fairly strong for the most part, as far as like tutorial dialogue.
Yeah, it was as strong as it can be, anyways.
What'd you think of the visuals, Jordan?
I think it looked really good.
It's a nice looking game.
I think it's kind of cool where it's like it's almost like a surface level, like behind your character now, as opposed to like kind of higher up. The
nice thing too is that if you want to, you can adjust the camera so it can be more like a down.
Oh, you can. I didn't notice that actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like the camera options were very well realized in this, and that's not always true. Even in Pikmin 3, I thought that the camera was extremely limited, and this one finally opens it up in a way that I think is satisfying.
Right. Also
on the visuals, like the treasures, because they brought treasures back. That was a big element of Pikmin 2.
Right.
Was collecting these different real-world objects. I think they look really nice. I initially was disappointed because it didn't seem like there was a way to see what treasures you've collected so far.
Right. It just takes a little bit to get to that, though.
Yeah, you find a guy who unlocks that, which that was cool.
Yeah, and I think he gives you rewards for different collections as well.
Yeah. I think that's awesome because there really was not much of one in the in Pikmin 2 as far as completing collections other than 100% in the game.
Yeah, because the only one that I completed that I know of is the I don't know what the collection was called, but it's like the map making collection or whatever, where it's like the clock and the compass and all that stuff, which is kind of cool that it puts it all together in one nice little hey, these are all related.
Yeah,
or it's we think they're all related anyways.
And I think you get even a bonus to your sparklium for completing collections.
Yeah.
Which is I guess to briefly talk about that. The reason why you're collecting these treasures is because they contain this element
or energy source,
something.
Yeah, that
powers your ship and lets you go more places.
Because the demo limits you to you have to collect 1,500, and it basically once you collect 1,500 and you end the day, it basically ends the demo there.
Right. Yep.
Which I ended up getting a lot more because I kind of tricked it a little bit, but.
Yeah, I saw a video last night where a guy got nearly 6,000.
Oh, I didn't go anywhere that close. I think I got over 2K, but.
Oh wow, yeah. I think I capped out just at 15.
Yeah.
Not 15,000, 1,500.
1,500,
yeah. But what else is there to say? Oh, the caves. Mm-hmm. So in Pikmin 2, I think all the caves are randomized to a certain degree, or procedurally generated. Even
I think these are the same. I think
are they?
I don't know. I haven't looked much into it, to be honest.
I looked into it just a little bit, and from what I can gather, they appear to be the same across every version. It's always the same cave.
Okay.
Which could have its advantages. I encountered one cave, for example, with these kind of conveyor belts.
Yeah, I did that one. Yeah.
Puzzle. That was pretty fun, and that's probably something that could only work if the caves are designed by a person rather than randomly kind of generated. So I think that's cool if it's done well. Then I dig that. I didn't think that the randomness of the caves in Pikmin 2 was particularly thrilling.
Right. Probably more annoying than anything. Really.
Honestly, yeah. Sometimes you would get a really good cave, sometimes you just get a bad one, and it would feel very cruel.
Right.
You were unlucky. But I think there's potential for this. I want to see more of these though, because the ones in the demo that I was able to access anyway are really short.
Yeah, it's bare bones.
Yeah, one to I think 3 levels was maybe the deepest cave there was. No boss encounters that I saw anyway.
Right.
Ice Pikmin.
Ice Pikmin's pretty cool.
Ice Pikmin is pretty cool. I love the mechanic of freezing the water. I think that is so unique because it's not like a bridge, where it's permanently here's your way across. You always need ice to freeze it, and then if you want to take them, then it goes back to being melted.
Yeah,
so.
at least you have you still have like a little bit of time before like it melts, like when you take them out though. Which I realized that I'm like, okay, I need to remember to keep them in there when I'm crossing,
right.
or else I'm SOL.
I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Are there any other thoughts you have, Jordan, about Pikmin 4 demo?
I'm a little sad we didn't see any like of the glow Pikmin in action.
That would have been cool.
But I feel like that's probably in like the second or third area, maybe, or maybe like in like the latter half of like the first area that we can't get to or something.
It could literally even be right after the demo ends.
Probably,
you know?
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how that differs from the normal Pikmin gameplay, because from the trailers it does seem to be kind of its own unique take on the formula.
It'd be very interesting, but like I said, it would have been nice to like kind of get at least a little bit of a feel for that first before the retail comes out. But they probably want to save that for like for people to actually buy the game for it.
Right. So that remains to be seen. But overall, I mean, this just was a very good demo, and I'm now more ready to buy Pikmin 4 than I already was.
Right.
I guess. I mean, I pre-ordered it, to be fair.
like you were already gonna buy it. It's like it just makes you more excited to actually play it.
I'm very excited. And we're I think 2 weeks out from it now, maybe less.
We're getting him in there pretty close.
Yeah, so I'm sure on the next episode we'll even maybe be discussing our thoughts on the game. At least I will. I think you're still on the fence, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably pick it up, but I do still kind of want to go through like the original, like first 3 Pikmin before 4 comes out, but I probably won't have enough time to get through all that.
All right, Jordan. That brings us to the viewer question portion of the stream.
Okay.
And there were a lot of questions, submitted.
I believe it.
We are the #1 podcast,
of course.
So we got all sorts of questions, but here's the one that I picked, and I will now read it.
I have no say in picking the questions.
Okay, here is the question that was asked to us.
User submitted.
Hi, OGP. I'm a huge fan of this podcast and have been watching since episode 1. My question for you is this. Do you guys have a favorite Mario educational title? If so, what is it and why? Well, thank you, viewer. That's such a good question that you came up with to ask us. And the answer is yes, I do. That game is the Super Nintendo version of Mario is Missing. I think a pretty underrated title, actually. Mm-hmm. The thing about that game is twofold. It has Mario World aesthetics, which is my favorite Mario game visually.
Of course.
And the music is actually really good in it. So the premise is that it's like a geography-based game.
Yeah.
So you're traveling all around the world, and each area you go to has a different version of the Mario World theme that's based on that region.
Right.
So I'm really all about that. It's, gameplay-wise, it's not great, but you do get to jump on Koopas. And
classic Mario gameplay.
I mean, it is what you do in Mario.
Right.
So when I got it for Christmas that year,
right,
I still liked it quite a bit.
Right.
I mean, it's not aged very well in the eyes of the average gamer, but I'm not the average gamer.
He's above average.
I'm smarter.
He's smarter.
And my brain is bigger. Jordan, what's your favorite? Now, Jordan has had time to think about this question last night.
Of course.
And so I'm really excited to hear what he has to say about this one, because I messaged him last night. I said, Jordan, we had this amazing viewer question. I sent it to him.
Right. I had to. He said you have to think about it all night and don't even sleep. You have to think about what you're going to respond for this question.
That's right. So I'm excited to hear.
So it's not one that I've actually played myself, because I've not really played any of the educational games myself. However, I'm a little bit partial to Mario Teaches Typing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's got the most famous of, maybe we'll play a sound clip here, Charles Martinet Mario performance. Yes. Is one of the early ones.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to fly for you. I hate my nose.
With the beautiful is it pre Mario 64 3D CG rendition of his head, And he's a lot more vocal than he is in every other game. So we love to hear Charles Martinet, his vocal range with Mario.
So true.
And also, gameplay, it's typing. You can't really go wrong with typing anything. I mean, we have such hits as Typing of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's the Pokemon typing game as well for the DS.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. That's a great point, Jordan. And this is why I'm so glad you had all last night to think about it, because that was an excellent answer. So yeah, I think that wraps up episode 2 of the podcast here. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me, Jordan. Like I said, this is the last episode Jordan will be on. He's never coming back.
No, I'm probably going to be taken out behind the shed later on, so...
Next episode will be a different person. Maybe another Jordan, though. You never know. It could be a new one.
Could be a Tofu clone. We don't know.
So, bye.